Do you have any regrets?
I mean, I try. As far as regrets go, I try not to have any. I mean, maybe there might be a few that I have. I know that, some of the regrets that I've had are, I have to think really. I think some of my regrets have been, what do I regret?
I'm on the Jabbathon, taking over like Genghis Khan. Got the sauce like Szechuan, fucking on the Amazon. Whip something from the Audubon, and I don't give a fuck what you want.
Okay, now I'm staring at this. Everything just says pilot. So, I guess I'll try to move this that way. And the car is still not moving. Okay. This is harder than it looks. Alright. I gotta drive a stick shift. Guess we're gonna have to pull this up and see how we do this.
The first thing you'll notice is that a manual car has 3 pedals instead of 2. The brake and the gas are in the same place, but the pedal on the left is called the clutch. Once you got this down, the rest is a piece of cake.
Take off the clutch. Give a little. Oh, sorry. There we go. Here we go. All right. Well, here we go. All right. There we go. Now we got it. Now we're cooking. Second gear in the house. All right. Whew. Okay. Now I'm feeling like a driver again. When you're learning how to drive a stick, it's like you're a rookie all over again. I mean, I've been driving since I was 18, but they were all automatics. So now I feel like a real driver now that I've got, now I'm getting a vague idea. Oh. I guess definitely gonna need. I think what's next is to definitely need to get a little bit more of the hang of this. Definitely need a bit more practice, but I think the next step right now is just practicing this so I can get around in it.
So you have an appointment today?
Yes.
And your name?
Vinny Booch.
Vinny, you've got to sign your name right there.
Okay.
And I need your insurance card, and we've got some papers for you to fill out.
Okay. Today I got an appointment with the doctor. Basically, we're gonna get some insight as to what I can do to get the process of getting the car started. Basically, any risks involved, or what we can do to keep the situation safe.
What brings you to the office today, sir?
Well, I'm kind of looking for some just medical advice. I'm starting a project, not right this second, but I'm currently in the process of going through a project where I'm planning to eat a car as for an entertainment show.
Eat a car?
Yes, sir.
As in ingest? As in
Yes, sir.
swallow?
Basically, the goal is to put it into capsules and ingest it that way. That way I'm not touching any, chemicals or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, like it's not gonna look exactly like this, but it's kind of similar.
You're going to swallow something that looks like that?
Not exactly like that, but that's the closest thing I could find to it to bring in today.
Sure.
I've done a little bit of research on it. Like I found that, if you mix it with like water and mineral oil in your throat, it makes it easier to slide down. So
Sure.
obviously we'll have a supply of that, and that's how we'll put it all together.
Let me review your history, and we'll get you ready for a cursory physical exam, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the grander plan that you have, okay?
Okay.
Sound good? Any questions at the moment? You okay there?
Yeah.
All right, I'm all right there.
Okay.
I'd say it's about the same percentage as winning the Indianapolis 500 on 1991 Festiva. Or was it Festiva? That was only part of the problem. Yeah, I think it's low. Not necessarily for medical reasons, at least not outwardly for medical reasons. The chance of him pulling this off.
I would start off with a gentle approach and a little bit of a, let's see how this goes, and maybe 10 or 15 on the first day, 15 minutes apart, and then see how your body responds to that.
And I was a little bit relieved to hear that he had a plan to actually ingest the car, as I think I mentioned to him at the time. I wasn't aware that Vinny wasn't going to actually be trying to bite off pieces of this. That'd be the most challenging part of it.
Jerry, you see anything over there?
Let's see about those red hots there.
Yeah, red hots. Okay, that one might work. I would give the Jolly Ranchers a try, but I choked on those once when I was a kid, so that psychologically, that's just gonna mess with me. That ain't gonna help. So, let me see. I say we try the now and laters, that way in case I choke, like I can always chew it if something goes wrong.
Right.
So, it's a backup plan there. All right. So, basically, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, we've been friends a long time, so I'm glad you're here for moral support, but the main thing is I need somebody to do the Heimlich if I choke on this thing. Because I don't know what the hell is about to happen. I just know that this is the best way I know how to prepare myself for this big moment.
Gotcha.
All right, so can I count on you to help me?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. All right, so like I said, you don't know how to do the Heimlich maneuver.
No, how you do it?
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Now, normally, naturally, if somebody's choking, they're usually grabbing their neck or they're doing something to indicate it, right?
Right.
So here's what you do: you take your fist, you put it right here by the abdomen, okay?
Okay.
Then you take your hand around here, and then you push and go up. Yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. Yeah. So I want to make sure I don't throw up. All right. That's what you got to do.
Oh.
Yeah, you go like that, and then you push and go up,
Okay.
and that will help me spit out whatever it is. God forbid I choke on.
Gotcha.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So let's see. Guess we'll go left to right. Let's try this out. Okay. Cracker Jacks dissolved. That was a bad idea. All right. Think we should get the Red Hots shot?
Again, I think maybe those Cracker Jacks are a little light.
Yeah.
They're really light in the.
Think they're really light?
Yeah.
Let's see.
Something.
Caramel coated popcorn and peanuts. Yeah. Okay. Try it again. Whoa.
Right?
Yeah. Almost got it down, but then gag reflex just shot it back up. Jesus. Okay. Red Hot's not helping. I think the burning thing too is not working either. I don't think that was a smart choice. Yeah, I definitely threw up from that, but
So it's like never before you swallowed a capsule or something.
not whole. I always, like I said, man, always had to cut it up.
I think holding your neck back a little bit more, or try like gargling a little bit so it goes down.
All right. I mean, this was my first real like attempt at actually trying to swallow a pill. You know, it's always been a psychological problem for me. That's why I've always, you know, been afraid of them. That's why I've always, you know, like found alternate means of taking medication whenever possible. So
So far, it needs like a little more work, but he'll get it. It's just handling it as it is and just doing all right or so for the most part.